Is there any advantage to having a mentor inside or outside of your organization? How do you start a relationship like that?
Well, my preference is to have a mentor outside of your organization. I probably would end up thinking that it's vitally important to have both, but I prefer to have one outside of the organization because I think that, now my organization, again, we're small, we're under 30 people, but someone needs to bring different perspective to you. And if you're within your organization, there's obviously politics everywhere, and there's things that you don't know about, and there's conversations that happen behind closed doors. And if you are using someone who's a complete third party as a mentor, they're just going to give you honest and open advice and guidance, and there's less of a trust issue, I think, and there's also more of a confidentiality and a confidence that you can have with somebody outside of your firm. And I also think that they're going to give you the most honest guidance because there's no agenda for them. So in other words, if you choose to have the manager or the partner inside your organization that you work primarily with to be your mentor, maybe that organization isn't the right fit for you, but it's not in their best interest maybe to exit you. So I just think that there's too much of a conflict if your main focus is a mentor inside your firm.
Attending CPA events that the New Jersey Society puts on, there's a lot of different areas and opportunities, whether it's a CPE, whether it's a social event, to meet different people, be involved in your chapter, be involved in a committee, something that interests you, because then you know the people that you're in that committee with are also interested in that. And that's a great way to broaden who your sphere that you have of people that can influence you, and then possibly strike up that relationship where you can find somebody who, this person is a few years ahead of me, we have the same type of thought process or goals, and they can become a mentor for you. It can happen kind of on its own, and to the point where you start to really meet maybe on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be every week, every other month, once a quarter, something that, has that open conversation.
Yeah, I think this is a good example of, you could ask that question and get three different people, get three different answers. I think for me, in the context of my career, I think that having somebody on the inside and somebody on the outside has been helpful for me. I've had mentors that were, not within my firm, and actually, only tangentially involved in the industry. Just people that I admired that I thought were good people to give me true objective advice about what I'm thinking about in my career. And then I do think that having a mentor inside the firm, for me, has been helpful because there are intangible things that will happen in a firm, and every firm is different, and understanding how to navigate that. And sometimes when you have somebody that you can talk to that has sort of direct understanding of the intricacies of your issue can be helpful if they are, impartial and they're doing the right thing and giving you truly impartial advice. But, I think the most foundational thing is it's somebody, whether it's in or outside, that you trust, that you believe is going to give you objective, true, honest advice. That's probably the best thing, and sometimes that's going to be inside, sometimes it'll be out.
I have a former boss who I use a lot, who he's moved on in his career, but he worked with me, knows my work ethic, and I've always admired his work ethic, and that has helped a lot too. So if there was somebody that you worked with previously and they've moved on and they're successful, that's another good avenue. You never actually know what might come out of that relationship besides just being a mentor. So
yeah, my mentor, I used to work with him. He's actually a partner with Chris right now. So that was the one that worked the best for me. But I also find, I wouldn't call it a full mentorship role, but I get a lot of great advice and support from my clients who, in my role, they're business owners, they're running their own businesses, they're entrepreneurial, and we bounce a lot of things off of each other together, and that's another place that you could potentially look for guidance.